Hello everyone. Welcome to Food Tech Network. If you haven't subscribed our YouTube channel yet, then subscribe it now and don't forget to click on the bell icon. For regular updates, visit our website www.foodtechnetwork.in and join our groups. We share jobs, webinars, quizzes, trainings, news on daily basis. We never charge any consultancy fee for jobs. Okay, so today we will discuss about the jelly processing. Okay, this lecture is being based on jelly processing. Let us discuss what is jelly. Okay, so jelly is a semi-solid product prepared by boiling a clear or strained solution of pectin containing fruit extract free from pulp after the addition of sugar and acid. Okay, so a perfect jelly should be transparent, well set, but not too stiff, and should have the original flavor of the fruit. It should not be attractive color and keep its shape when removed from the mold. It should be firm enough to retain a sharp edge but tender enough to quiver when passed. Okay, so it should not be gummy, sticky, syrupy, or have crystallized sugar. The product should be free from dullness and with little or no weeping. Okay, syneresis. Weeping means syneresis. And neither tough nor rubbery. Okay, it should be in perfect consistency. Okay, so guava, sour apple, plum, caronda, wood apple, lacquot, okay, etc. can be used only after addition of pectin powder. Okay, these are used in preparation of jelly, but only after the addition of pectin powder. Okay, so because these fruits like guava these fruits are low in pectin content. Okay, so low in pectin content. So on the basis of pectin, fruits are being divided into four parts, like which are rich in pectin and acid. Okay, which are rich in pectin but low in acid, which are low in pectin but rich in acid, and which are low in pectin and acid both. Okay, so those fruits which are rich in pectin and acid both are like apple, grapes, lemon, oranges, plum, okay, and jamun. Okay, so these are rich in pectin and acid both. Okay, and those fruits which are rich in pectin but low in acid is like grapefruit, peel of orange, ripened guava. Okay, and low in pectin but rich in acid are like apricot, sweet cherry, sour peaches, pineapples, strawberries. And low in pectin and acid both, which are low in pectin and which are low in acid both, are like peaches, pomegranate, okay, raspberries, strawberries, and other overripe fruits. Okay, so if pectin is in low content, we have to add extra pectin. Let us move further. Important considerations in jelly making. Okay, so pectin, acid, sugar, and water are the four essential ingredients. Pectin test and determination of endpoints of jelly formation are very important for the quality of jelly. Let us understand these considerations in detail. First is pectin. Okay, so pectin substances present in the form of calcium pectate are responsible for the firmness of the fruits. Okay, so pectin is the most important constituent of jelly. It is a commercial term for water-soluble pectinic acid, which under suitable conditions forms a gel with sugar and acid. In the early stage of development of fruits, the pectic acid is a water-insoluble propectin, okay, which is converted into pectin by the enzyme propectinase, okay, during ripening of the fruit. Okay, so in overripe fruits, due to the presence of pectic methyl esterase, okay, PME enzyme, the pectin gets largely converted into pectic acid, which is water insoluble. Okay, so this is one of the main reason that the both immature and overripe fruit are not suitable for jelly making. We have to choose the fruits wisely. While choosing the fruits, we have to choose normal fruits. We should not choose overripe fruits or immature fruits. Okay, so the setting of pectin is also dependent upon the pH and sugar concentration. Okay, stiffness of the gel increases with increasing concentration of pectin up to a certain point, beyond which the addition of more pectin has little effect. Okay, So yeah, so too little pectin gives a soft syrup instead of gel. Okay, if there is less pectin, the syrup will be soft. Okay, and if the pectin is in proper amount, the jelly will be stiff. Okay, it will be in better consistency. Okay, so pectin tends to keep the sugar from crystallizing by acting as a protective colloid. Okay, so pectin stops the sugar from crystallization. Okay, so the gelling powder of fruit pectin depends upon the amount of pectin used. Okay, and usually about 0.5 to 1% of pectin of good quality in extract is sufficient for producing good jellies. Okay, so if pectin content is higher, a firm and tough jelly is formed, and it is less, the jelly may fail to set. Okay, so if there is higher pectin, the jelly will be more tough because of the crystallization of sugar. Okay, so next is acid. So the gelling of extract depends on the amount of acid and pectin present in the fruit. Of the three acids, citric acid, malic acid and tartaric acid found in fruits, which are the three acids found in fruits, it may be asked to you. So the three acids found in fruits are citric acid, malic acid and tartaric acid. Okay, so tartaric acid gives the best results. The final jelly should contain at least 0.5%, preferably 0.75%. Okay, but not more than 1% total acid, because a larger quantity of acid may cause syneresis, that is weeping. Okay, so jelly strength increases with the increase in pH until optimum is reached. Okay, so the further addition of acid decreases the jelly strength. The optimum pH for jelly containing 1% of pectin is approximately 3, 3.2, 3.4. Okay, and yeah, so the pH of the jelly can be controlled by adjusting the pH of extract with acid, adding a suitable buffer. Fruits also contain salts like sodium citrate, sodium potassium tartrate. Okay, which have buffering action and help to control the pH. Okay, so in general, the optimum pH value for jelly is 3.2. Write it. Okay, you should write it. The optimum pH value for jelly is 3.2. Okay, and what I have told you earlier, the increased amount of higher the pectin and higher will be the stiffness of the jelly. Okay, and in acid, okay, so acid it should be the final jelly should contain 0.5% of acid. Okay, preferably it is like 0.75. Okay, so next, sugar. So this essential constituent of jelly imparts to its sweetness as well as body. If the concentration of sugar is high, the jelly retains less water, resulting in a stiff jelly. Okay, probably because of dehydration. Okay, so the higher the amount of jelly, the higher the amount of sugar, the higher the jelly will be stiff. Okay, sugar high hogi to there will be stiff jelly. So inversion of sugar. Okay, so when sugar is like our table sugar, sucrose, is boiled with an acid, it is hydrolyzed into dextrose and fructose. Okay, so the degree of inversion depending on the pH and duration of boiling. Okay, so because of the partial inversion of sucrose, a mixture of sucrose, glucose and fructose are found in the jelly. Okay, so this mixture is more soluble in water than sucrose alone, and hence the jelly can hold more sugar in solution without crystallization. Last, judging end point. Okay, so boiling of jelly should not be prolonged. Okay, because excessive boiling results in a greater inversion of sugar and destruction of pectin. Okay, and the important point to remember is that it is the fruit extract which requires boiling and not the added sugar. If a jelly is cooked for a prolonged period, it may be gummy, sticky or syrupy and deteriorate in color. There will be a deterioration in color and flavor. Okay, so the end point of boiling can be judged by like sheath and flake taste. Okay, so I have discussed the sheath and flame taste in my jam video. Okay, jam processing video, and explaining you here also, like sheath and flake test. In this, a small portion of jelly is taken out during boiling in a spoon or wooden ladle or cooled slightly. Okay, then it is allowed to drop it. If the product fall off in the form of sheath or flake instead of falling in a continuous stream or syrup, it is mean that the end point has been reached and the product is ready. Okay, so otherwise boiling is continued and sheath test is okay, is positive. Okay, and next test is drop test. Okay, so a drop of the concentrated mass is poured into a glass containing water and settling down of the drop due to disintegration. Okay, so denotes the end points. Okay, denotes the end point. Next, what is written here, at the end point can be judged by sheet test, drop test, and refractometer and thermometer. Okay, so these are the temperature test. Okay, so in these refractometer and thermometer, a solution containing 65% total soluble solids boil at 105 degrees Celsius. Okay, 105 degrees Celsius. These are the temperature tests. Okay, so heating of the jelly to this temperature would automatically bring the concentration of solids to 65%. This is why it is the easiest way to ascertain the end point. Okay, next, the pH and sugar are most important parameters of settling of jelly. Okay, so the amount of pectin can be determined by alcohol test or gel meter test. We will discuss gel meter test and alcohol meter test in detail in this same video. Okay, so the final jelly should contain at least 0.5% acid but not more than 1. Okay, I have told you it will be like 0.5 to 0.75%. Okay, sugar imparts sweetness as well as a body. If the level of sugar is high, jelly retains less water, which I have told you these earlier. Okay, you can make notes. So now alcohol test. Okay, so this method involves precipitation of pectin with alcohol. Like 1 teaspoon full of strained extract is taken in a beaker and then cooled, and 3 teaspoonfuls of methylated spirit are poured gently down the side of the beaker, which is rotated for mixing and allowed to stand for a few minutes. Okay, so the results will be like if extract is rich in pectin, a single transparent lump or clot will be formed. If extract contains a moderate amount of pectin, the clot will be less firm and fragmented. If extract is poor in pectin, numerous small granular clots will be seen. Okay, so alcohol test in which the alcohol is added to juice, and if it forms lump or clot with alcohol, it is rich in pectin. If the clot is less fragmented, it will be moderate in pectin, and if there is small granular clots, then it will be poor in pectin. Okay, so next is gel meter test. Okay, so the gel meter test is held in the left hand with thumb and forefinger. Okay, so the bottom of the gel meter tube is closed with the little finger, and the strained extract is poured into the gel meter with a spoon. Okay, so held in the right hand. Okay, so till it is filled to the brim. While still holding the gel meter, the little finger is removed from the bottom end and the extract is allowed to flow or drip for exactly like 1 minute. Okay, so at the end of which the finger is replaced. Okay, so the reading of the level of extract in the gel meter is noted, and the finger indicates how many parts of sugar are to be added to one part of juice. Okay, so in which the juice are gel meter test is the test in which the juice are filled in gel meter, allowed to flow in specific time, and the amount of extract is noted and then calculated, and then it indicates the figure indicates the criteria or the calculation that how many parts of sugar are to be added to one part of juice. An alcohol test is for pectin. Next, jelly should have following requirements: total soluble solids should not be less than 65%, and the fruit content should not less than 45%. Okay, so it is the ratio that total soluble solid should not be less than 65% and fruit content should not be less than 45%. So the process of jelly making is of two types, that is batch process and continuous process. Okay, so the main difference between these two processes is that in continuous process pectin solution is used instead of pectin powder, and in batch process pectin powder is used. Okay, so otherwise further processes are like same, and there are no that big difference, and if there may be, let us read what is written here. So the ingredients are water, fruit juice, fruit pulp are poured into a vessel, and then the mixture is stirred. A separation should be prevented when using a pectin sugar mixture. The boiling point of the solution is maintained till pectin is added. The mixture is boiled till total soluble solids are reached. Then it is cooled to 80 degrees Celsius, and flavor color. Okay, so it is added at the end of the process. In continuous process, the ingredients are like sugar, sugar syrup, water, fruit juice, fruit pulp. These are heated to dissolve the ingredients and mixed in vacuum station. Next, here with the reference of dragon fruit is a flow chart of the process of jelly making. Okay, so let us understand this. Selection of fruits. As I have told you earlier, the fruit should not be immature and overripe. The fruit should be wise in its color, shape. Okay, it should not be overripe. And then we wash it, then we cut it into thin slices by different peelers. Okay, then we boil it in water. Okay, so boil it in water for 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, then we add citric acid to it during the boiling. Okay, so citric acid, the criteria or the the calculation of the amount of citric acid is 2 gram per kg of fruit. Okay, you should write it, 2 gram per 1 kg of fruit. We add citric acid, 2 gram of citric acid. Okay, then we strain the extract, and then we do the pectin test. Okay, like alcohol test or alcohol test and gel meter test, that tells us how much amount of sugar and pectin should be added. Okay, then addition of sugar, and then we boil it, then we judge the end point. I have told you the methods like sheet drop test, temperature test. Okay, then we remove the scum or foam. Okay, so 1 teaspoon of edible oil added for like 45 kg of sugar. Okay, so then color and remaining citric acid is being added, then filling hot into cleaned sterilized bottles, then keeping it and storing it at the ambient temperature. Next, processor. Okay, so selection of fruit should not be overripe. Then we wash it because there are many pesticides and many pests, insects, or some amount of dirt or insecticides are being thrown on the on the fruits before in their cultivation period. Okay, so to wash them, to remove them, we wash them. Okay, so then we cut it into the slices, then we boil them, and then addition of citric acid. Okay, citric acid is being added, and then straining of extract. Okay, we strain the extract using muslin cloth. Then addition of pectin. Okay, so pectin is being added, and higher, I have told you, higher the quantity of pectin, the jelly will be firm and tough. Okay, if it is less, the jelly may fail to set. Okay, so 0.5 to 1% of pectin is good, and some pectin is already present in the fruit, so we should have to do alcohol test or pectin test, as you all know, so to detect the amount required to the jelly. Okay, so the amount of pectin required to add. Next, addition of sugar. Okay, so 0.75 per kg of sugar is added to 1 liter of extract. Okay, then we cook them, and if the cooking is stopped before the total soluble solids reached 65%, the jelly may remain syrupy. So okay, so the cooking should be proper, and it should not be like that the jelly will be soft. Okay, so judging of endpoint, there are many tests like sheet flake drop test, refractometer, thermometer. Removal of scum. Okay, so we have to add 1 teaspoonful of edible oil oil for 45 kilo of sugar. If the scum is not removing, the jelly become cloudy. Okay, if we will not remove the scum, the jelly will become cloudy. Then we add color and preservatives. Then we fill them in sterilized jars. Then we seal them and store them in cool and dry place. Next, problems in jelly making. Okay, so the first problem is that it fails to set. Okay, so if there will be more amount of sugar, it will set easily. But if there will be less amount of sugar and pectin, it will fails to set easily. Okay, so cloudy or foggy jellies are due to that sometimes scum is not being removed. Okay, so we remove scum by adding 1 teaspoon of edible oil to 45 kg of sugar. Okay, so third problem is excessive amount of sugar leads to formation of crystals in jelly. Yeah, sugar forms crystals. Okay, and fourth is syneresis or weeping of jelly is caused due to excess of acid. Okay, sometimes we can't get the amount of acid required for the fruit, and we put it in excess, so there will be a syneresis of jelly or weeping out of jelly. Okay, so the phenomena of spontaneous exudation of fluid from gel is called syneresis or weeping. Okay, so weeping is caused by various factors also, like excess of acid, too much low concentration of sugar, insufficient pectin, premature gelatin. Okay, fermentation or sometimes. So these are some of the problems faced in jelly making. It fails to set. Let us see the reasons behind them. So failure to set. Okay, so the reasons may be like addition of too much sugar, lack of acid or pectin, cooking below the end point. Okay, and cooking beyond the end point, or prolonged cooking. Then cloudy or foggy jellies may be due to use of non-clarified juice or extract, use of immature fruits, overcooking, overcooling, removal of scum. Okay, so the jelly became cloudy, or the premature gelatin. Okay, so these are the some points which hinders the proper process of jelly making, but these can be removed easily. But all we need is to be careful. That's all for now.